dad.
Remember when he was crying?
It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here.
At a certain point.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Crying Van Jones, okay? The token black guy from the Crying Negro Network, where it seems like they have black men come on television and cry.
Love it. All right. Let's go to Vivek Ramaswamy, because Vivek Ramaswamy gave Van Jones a piece of his mind after Van Jones said what he said here, and we're gonna address that a little.
Oh, this wasn't just a piece of his mind. He gave him a beat down.
Oh, he gets good. He gets good.
Well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad.
Remember when he was crying?
It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's gonna come back for no reason. This is vindication for a lot of people.
Well, now you're gonna cry for the illegal immigrants and the children who are dying as a result of open border policies.
Right.
Like, it seems to me it's like Trump was the worst thing that happened. You serious? Biden's doing worse with the immigration stuff, and you never even spoke about that. Fine, I respect your tears, but it's like crocodile tears. If
I don't. I was gonna say, quit with the crocodile tears already, man. Come on.
I mean, I find that it's a good thing if men can express their emotion. It's not a bad thing. I don't lean too much on that myself. I'm one of those guys. I'm not very emotional, but sometimes I do. I can let it out. But it seems to me these weren't that honest to me. They were like, it looks like he just got caught up in his emotion and so on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, at least if you're going to be expressing emotion like that, at least let it be genuine.
Yeah.
Don't fake it.
It's kind of crazy. Like the Democratic Party is using black women to make them fight against, Trump and everything that's, Republican. But they're using their black men to make them cry on national television. It's kind of like, y'all need to stop crying, black fans. Y'all need to stop crying on television. There's a whole bunch of them crying. Like, y'all need to stop crying. Even like, the guy from New York. The guy from New York is always
that's
crying.
Fine. Do it in private.
Yeah. Eric Adam crying on television. Like, oh no, stop. I mean, it's just Obama crying. It was like, oh my Lord, what's wrong with y'all people? Nothing wrong with crying. I don't think being emotional is bad. As a man, we all emotional naturally as human beings, but it's just that
there's a time and place for it.
It's just there's a time and a place for some of this stuff. It's all political. Weaponizing tears. Anyway, a few years later, let's see what's going on there.
Few years later.
That guy is dangerous. That's dangerous. When those people are saying Jews will not replace us, Jews will not replace us, that slogan sits on top of a very sick and twisted view that if you bring enough people of color here, we are so deficient, we are so stupid, we're so unwanted that we will be zombies to fill out the ranks for some Democratic Party agenda that Jewish people are manipulating and driving forward. That leads to violence. That puts at risk Jewish people. That puts at risk people of color. It is wrong. And the smug, condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous, because he won't stop Trump, but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk, because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
Before there's a lot of talk about censorship online and everything, and what should be censored, and free speech, hate speech, misinformation, malinformation, all that. To be honest with you, that was hate speech.
Yeah.
That right there was hate speech. If you want to classify anything as hate speech, this is it. He's not only talking about the idea of what the man, he's not addressing, he's not ad hominem so much. If one thing you're going after something I've said, but it's another thing you go after my character. That's what he did here. He's going after the man. In the way he spoke, if I were a lunatic, I think maybe I should just grab a weapon and go look for that Vivek Ramaswamy guy and take him down. Like, there are people who will really become radicalized through words like that. Because the way he's speaking about the man, he's demonizing the man. He's making him look like he's some crazy white ring upcoming rhetoric that we need to check this brother before he turns out to be the next Trump in the pipeline. I mean, like, this crazy. That's the kind of speech that I have a problem with, which I will not say he can't say them, but when people are saying you can't say this, you can't say that about COVID, you can't say this about that, I'm like, wait a minute. Have you heard what the media be saying about people?
Yeah.
Like, about Trump? What kind of names they call the man? That's not hate speech.
I mean, come on. When you're comparing people to the bad guys of World War II, I mean,
that's just wild, man.
That's an extreme.
That's extreme. That's extreme. Simply based on the fact he said something you didn't like, and the media is about to be exposed because the internet never forgets. Because you said some things years ago that's coming back up online now, and I can't wait. And I love what Vivek Ramaswamy said. You don't have to like what he said, but listen to what he said.
Don't know. That is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
Just shut the fuck up. At a certain point.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Crying Van Jones, okay? The token black guy from the Crying Negro Network, where it seems like they have black men come on television and cry.
Oh, the one-liners. Oh, they killed me.
I love the black conservative perspective. I tell you what, I listen to this guy every day. You know, he's like my number one YouTuber. Like, I like me some Candace Owens, some Officer Tatum, and I really enjoy Matt Walsh and them. But black conservative perspective is at the top of the list. A lot of my videos that I react to, I came from him. I'm like, yo, if he finds that video, I'm gonna find it because I'll tell you what. He said crying. What did he say about CNN?
Crying Negro Network.
That's just too much. I can't.
Negro Network Van Jones, okay? The token black guy from the Crying Negro Network.
Oh my Lord.
It's so funny because it's true.
It's true. That's all they do. They're always crying. They're always crying victims. That's all they do. That's all they do. Anti-Trumpism, crying, victimhood, CRT. That's all they talk about. It's like, okay, talk about something of value, man. Goodness.
Oh. Jones, okay? The token black guy from the Crying Negro Network, where it seems like they have black men come on television and cry on a regular, okay? Van Jones is the same person who boo-hoo-whined and cried when Joe Biden became president of the United States. And most recently, he was pearl clutching and shaking. Over Vivek calling out the Democrats and the hypocrisy of the fact that they seem to be the only people in this country that can talk about the issue of demographic change without being smeared as racist and bigots, even though Democrats literally always are talking about demographic change and how it is fundamental to their agenda for the country, right? This is something that they openly talk about out loud. And it just so happens that a video resurfaced of Van Jones, who was literally shaking, right, over Vivek, basically, again, just stating facts about the Democrat Party. Video of Van Jones coming out and saying exactly what Vivek and others have pointed out that Democrats often say when it comes to this issue of demographic change. Take a look.
Asking the white majority to do something is difficult. And I think it'd be easier if we just acknowledge that it's difficult. No ethnic majority group in 10,000 years of human history that I could find ever went from being a majority to being a minority and liked it. And that's basically the request from the racial justice left, is that we want the white majority to go from being a majority to being a minority. And
the internet. Well, this was supposed to be a Zoom call, so I don't think this was meant to go out to the rest of the world. Well, so Drew is at the top, so obviously this was an interview through Zoom. Oh my Lord. You know, God has a way of exposing people. I'm telling you. God has a way of exposing people.
Oh, that's
I love how this goes around, comes around, tends to have it. It's like, wait a minute, but like, are you the same guy that was just telling us that Vivek is crazy? Like,
what you mean to keep in the dark, God will bring to the light.
And that's something. Listen to this guy talking. After all this nonsense, he cried out.
The white majority to go from being a majority to being a minority and like it. That's a tough request. And the reality is that change is hard. Change that you want is hard. Change that is good is hard.
Yeah, so you see, now you hear that, okay? Van Jones openly endorsing what the liberal media says is a white supremacist conspiracy theory, right? Again, Clan Jones. Clan Jones. I didn't say that. I actually didn't say that on purpose.
He cracks himself up. I can't believe I said that.
Oops, I didn't mean to say that.
I said Clan Jones. He's tripping. Oh my Lord, he's ridiculous. Oh, that's good.
Again, Clan Jones. Clan Jones. I didn't say that. I actually didn't say that on purpose. Clan Jones. Clan Jones. Yeah, that's his new nickname. Clan Jones, right? Clan Jones. Basically saying out loud what Democrats claim is a racist thing to say. Only if you're a Republican or a conservative. If you say that, look, demographic changes happen in this country. You know, white people are becoming less and less a part of the country. And part of the reason why has to do with, you know, birth rates. Also, immigration has something to do with it, right? There's a various reasons, okay, for why that's happening. Okay, Democrat policies, you know, contributing or whatever. Again, Clan Jones openly out loud says that this is happening and that, hey, you got to be cool with it, right? You got to be cool with it. Change is hard, okay? Suck it up, snowflake, right? That is Clan Jones, okay? Sounding like a Klansman, sounding like a white supremacist, right? Because this is what Democrats told us, that this is a white supremacist talking point, okay, when you say this type of stuff. So there you have it, out of Clan Jones's mouth, okay? So with that being said, we got to get to Vivek, okay, who after that debate in which he pointed this out, the mainstream liberal media smeared him as a bigot, white supremacist, you know, et cetera, you know what they always say. Again, Van Jones's comments, I think, are the comments that went the most viral, right? Because his was probably like the most ridiculous, okay? So Vivek responded to Van Jones at Turning Point and told Van Jones to shut the F up in the most epic way possible. Take a look.
If you told me this 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. But I now have my views that are a product of my experiences. We got to open our eyes to see that disease of dishonesty. The same government that has lied to us about not only what happened on 9/11, but the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, about the basis for the 2008 bailouts and the financial crisis, about the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that never was, about the Hunter Biden laptop story, which we absolutely know to be true, about exactly what happened on January 6th, to the origin of COVID-19, to the Nashville transgender shooter manifesto, to how our own money is being spent in Ukraine today. We demand a government that tells us the truth again in this country. That's what we require. We can handle the truth. That's what it means to be a citizen of this country. So I say that on that last debate stage to a bunch of Republicans that are shaking in their boots. These are the things you're not supposed to say in the Republican Party even today. And then you get the mainstream media. You got this character, Van Jones, on CNN afterwards saying, this is the rise of an American demagogue who's going to live 50 years longer than Trump. This is dangerous. I am shaking. That's what he says. Just shut the fuck up. At a certain point.
I gotta tell you, that was epic, boy. I'll let him say that, but I'll tell
you know what?
But I'll tell you what, that needed to be said. Enough. Enough. And that's similar to what what's his name? Elon Musk when he said what he said to
GFY.
to the GFY to the ad payers and what they were doing. They were weaponizing, boycotting the system in order for Elon Musk to supposedly fall in line with whatever views they have. He just told them, man,
bye.
GFY. Work with that. And it just comes to a point where you have to tell these people enough because they don't listen. You can't reason with them. You can't talk to them with truth and common sense. Just enough. He said that in such a way, though. The way he penned that. Epic.
Dangerous. I am shaking. That's what he says. Just shut the fuck up. At a certain point, just shut the fuck up. Van Jones at CNN. We're done with it. And I think you got to ask yourself, why am I the only candidate in this race who can say certain things?
Well, it's obvious because you're not bought and sold, right? Because you made your own money outside of politics and you're not bought and sold like the rest of our politicians.
Oh, man. We're going to stop right here. This is enough. Boy, that's great. Go subscribe to that guy if you guys haven't subscribed to his channel. He's pretty good. He's about to hit 1 million soon. It's 700-something thousand. That's pretty great.
Nice.
Boy. That was a lot. That was a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna save this one here for our next one.
All right.
We'll discuss that.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. Yeah, Daily Dose of Wisdom. I've actually subscribed to him. I know who he is. It's just like these people, man, in the media, like, and what they doing and the deceptions that they are peddling is ridiculous. And that's why I've entitled this, and the media is the enemy of the people, man.
And it's like they've just lost the plot, you know. They don't see that the American people aren't buying into it anymore.
Yeah, they're not. We are not interested in that rhetoric anymore. We can see right through it, and our confidence in the media is going complete. I mean, thank God for Trump, because Trump made it happen. Like, we would have never realized how corrupt the media was until Trump came into the picture and began to cry out fake news. And that's when I'm like, wait, he's right. he was way ahead of his time.
He exposed them for who they are.
He exposed them. Yeah, he exposed them. And I thank God for men like that. You don't have to like the man, but certainly Trump is going to live in honor of history for doing things in ways that he's changed so much. He's changed so much in politics. The way we do debate, the way we discuss things, how we view the media, our perspective, the way we voice our opinion, everything. It's changed a whole lot, This is why Vivek Ramaswamy can speak the way he does.
Well, I mean, that's why we need him back in office. That way his work is not done yet.
No.
He's got so much more to do.
Yeah, 4 more years, please.